So here we are at the entrance of the trail. I'm making it split rail. This is common area. Get your bearings here. This is the trail looking northwest, I guess. And be looking southeast so. There's the creek and the pond and all that stuff. So I got an entryway on this side, on the right side, and an exit on this side. The exit is not anywhere near complete yet. I just want to show where it was going to be. So I'll just walk the trail here. It's going to be a multi-use trail, but so bicycles and walking. No motorized vehicles. You can see I've had to bench this in a little bit. It's kind of slick. And the orange marked trees are the ones that probably ought to come down. If I can get Roger down here with his chainsaw. The whole trail loop is probably going to be in the neighborhood of just about a half mile, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's all I got to work with. So what I did was I did a series. You can see that the lot kind of slopes this way, and I just basically cut a section of, or a series of benches along the ridge, or along the side of the ridge. And you could basically traverse it. I think I got basically 5, maybe going to be 6 total traverses. This is the lowest one. You can see the gravel path that goes below us. You can see this is a good example of an area where you have to bench it to make it a little bit more walkable, rideable versus the steep area. And when you say bench it, you're just cutting into the dirt, moving some of the dirt to the side so you can make it a little bit more flat, walkable / rideable. This is a ravine that runs, kind of a drainage ravine that runs the entire length of the common area from the neighboring property down to the road. And you have to traverse this several times. Luckily, there were places that didn't require much work to make them passable. So got lucky there. I have to figure out what I'm going to do about the fact that this dirt is very slick once you bench it in. Most of the ground cover here is essentially just old vegetation. So it's a pre-topsoil type state. All this vegetation that's been just falling here for decades and decades has just turned into a real rich topsoil type configuration. There's very little clay in this area until you get below that, and then it becomes super slick. Not to haul some rock in here or something on those spots. So you can see that we've reached the point where I quit benching. From here on out, everything is just the trail as it's been essentially raked. I've come through and lopped the small vegetation, the small trees and weeds and jaggers. A lot of jaggers back here, jagger type bushes. I've lopped all that stuff off, and I went ahead and just raked all the leaves to the side, so you can just kind of see the pathway. These turns are going to be something that I'll have to negotiate, or maybe prepare so people can negotiate them better. This is kind of stand back here and you can see the switchback degree here. I don't know if you can see it very well with the sun, but you can make it on a bicycle, but you got to be pretty good. You got to be pretty confident in your ability to stay upright and provide the right amount of power at the right amount of time and not have your wheels slip out from underneath you. So now we're on the second tier, and we're heading back towards the entryway. Got a couple of logs that you can get over these types of logs, so I might just leave some of those just as fun obstacles. But there's some that are too big to get over and or are set up off the ground, and they'll have to be cut and removed. A lot of the trees that have fallen are quite rotten, so some of them are easy to move and some of them are a pain in the butt to move. This part of the trail, you can see, is kind of an intersection of the second tier this way and the third tier, which should be coming back this way. And in order to make that crossing of the ravine that we're coming back up to work, I had to kind of tie them back in, but they're only together for, I don't know, 15-20 feet here on the ground, and then the third tier goes back up that way. But we're going to continue on the second tier. Some of these roots need to come up. We're crossing the ravine again. Again, a pretty easy crossing there. This is an uphill section, if you can't tell the way I'm holding the camera. It's a gentle slope up to the top, kind of rolling, but if you got to do some climbing so you can do some descending. And this will be coming towards the next switchback to the third tier. Again, you're going to gain a little bit of elevation here. Probably not even 10 feet, really, though. Maybe 10-15 feet. And now we're on the third tier. Here's one of the logs that I'll have to have Roger help me remove. It's pretty rotten. It's been down for a while. I'm not thinking I need to do too much bench work on these upper tiers. I was kind of happily surprised about that. They're pretty easy to ride as they are, and they'll get better once people tramp them down and ride on them a little bit. So I'm not worried about doing too much more benching other than what we've done on the first level. Not too many roots. There's one to deal with. Coming to the ravine again. Again, a nice, really easy passing. Jagger I didn't get. And here's that intersection with the second and third tier again. Again, just a short intersection. And we'll continue along the third tier. Another log down that you can get over. I've proven that. You can get over it easily on the right hand side of the log. So again, might leave this one. And we're coming up to the next switchback, which will get us onto the fourth level. You can see coming up here, here's a little bit of a roots nest to deal with. Nothing too bad. This little section here was going to be, again, kind of steep. You probably can't see it very well on the camera. So I didn't know if people were going to be able to negotiate. This is the line I originally wanted here, and I got to where I had cleared it, and I looked at it and I said, I don't think people are going to be able to make that turn. Turns out you can pretty easily. But I went ahead as a bailout, or an alternate route. I made this little roundabout here that will make it easier or harder depending on how you want to negotiate. So we're on the fourth tier now. I can't remember, I think the fourth tier, the fourth tier does not cross the ravine, if I recall correctly. We'll see when we get back up here. We stay on this side of the ravine before, and we switch back to the fifth. Yeah, that's correct. It does not cross the ravine. Again, I don't think I'm going to have to bench any of this out. I think it's rideable as it is. Here's where we switch back. I got a lot of little stumps I need to take out. So this is the last tier before we start the tier that will essentially border the property and take us back to the entryway, which will take us along the fence line for the most part of the bordering property. Oops, I stumbled there. Probably can't see it, but there's quite a few deer hoof prints. Seen quite a bit of scat up here. The deer seem to already be enjoying the trails. Got to get this mess out of here. And here's the last switchback. It's not really much of a switchback. This is gonna be kind of a straightaway up to the edge of the property. And as you can see, we're kind of in the corner of the property. So over here we have a neighbor along this fence that you can't. There's an old wire fence that you can't hardly see in the ground there. That goes along our property, and I could take a line straight down to give options for how you don't want to negotiate the whole course. So at some point later on, I might go ahead and clear all this out and negotiate a way back down to there, and maybe even another entryway on this edge of the property. But for now, we're going to come up this way and then just kind of ease our way on out of here along the fence line. And we're coming up to broken rake number 1. Actually, I've only broken 1 rake, but I'm sure I'm going to be breaking more than one. There's the neighbors. The neighbors actually have trails on their property too. I may at some point knock on their door and ask if they want to connect them and see what they say. But this is where I essentially stopped clearing. I rode the bike up here earlier, and then Gina came with the dogs. You might have seen her at the beginning of the video. She brought the dogs up here to find me. I'll walk back out and show you the pathway out of here. But you can see that none of this is cleared yet. But you can see where none of it's raked. I have done quite a bit of lopping between here and the exit way. I haven't done it all yet, as I found out when I was walking Gina out of here. But you'll get an idea of the rest of the pathway. You see, these are the other neighbors that border us on the north side of the property. Beautiful horse farm over here. Gonna come down here, and I gotta find a place that I can traverse that ravine one more time. I think I found the spot down this way. Yeah, this spot right here. It's gonna require a little bit of groundwork, because you gotta kind of skirt around this tree here, and you got a little bit of roots to negotiate. I don't know exactly what's underneath all these leaves, but this is probably doable right here. And that tree probably won't bother too many people. It looks like it's still alive, so you might want to leave it. And then we'll come back up to the fence line. try to steer clear of the fourth tier, but you can kind of, you might not be able to see that from here. You can see I didn't do much lopping. I didn't do a very good job of lopping, if I did any, in this section. And yeah, okay, so you can see the fourth tier there. So we're coming near the entryway. We're essentially at the point where you would begin a descent, a decent looking descent that might end up being kind of nice and flowy if I do it right, down to the entryway. I don't know if you can see the entryway down there, but we'll see how well I can do it with what I got to work with. I don't know if you'll be able to, if most people will be able to climb this. I'd like to think that I could. I'll definitely be giving it a shot. It's going to be a little bit steep. I probably couldn't do much in the way of switchbacks. There's just not enough. There's just not enough room. I could maybe bring it over that way and back up this way, and that might be smarter. But I really want to go for this flow if I can get it. As just a fun feature, because riding on the trail right now is as slow as it gets. I'd like to think that it gets faster as the ground gets packed a little bit better and people can negotiate a little bit better, but I'd like to have at least a nice little fun flowy type section. So we're coming up to the entryway and exitway again. I probably will make a loop here back in, so you don't have to go all the way out to the gravel. I'll probably make a little bit of a loop so you can actually, if you just want to continue do continuous loops. But we'll be coming out this way. Actually, probably, now that I think about it, probably not over there like I walked out of, but probably straight down this way. Yeah. And then out this way. And like I said, that'll be about half mile. Should be kind of fun. Place you can just go do some laps after work, or the kids can hang out or learn to mountain bike on. You never know. Let's see what it becomes.